Hello and welcome back to the Beyond the Seams podcast. I'm Molly Elizabeth Agnew, founder of Eternal Goddess, and thank you for joining me. On today's episode, I'm talking to Annette Azan, the founder of the Nudi system. The Nudi system is a truly innovative bra and underwear company based in America. Look, I don't know about you to other boob havers, but sometimes I really don't want to wear a proper bra, but I also don't want to not be wearing a bra. And it can be a struggle to find the perfect in-between that gives you coverage, that gives you some very light support, but that doesn't, suffocate you. Annette has found a solution to this very universal problem in creating the Nudi system. So I really do hope that you'll enjoy it, and all information about the brand will obviously be linked in the various descriptions and captions, dependent on where you are listening/watching this podcast. I say watching, this is also a reminder that all episodes of the Beyond the Seams podcast are available to watch in visual format on YouTube. If you would like to keep up to date with more from the podcast and from Eternal Goddess, make sure you're following us on social media. Hi Annette, thank you so much for joining me. I'd like to jump in straight headfirst into your background in the fashion industry, because you worked for 25 years in the industry before creating Nudi, or have a lot of history in the industry. Tell me more about that, please.
Yeah, so yes, I have worked forever in the industry. It's been my place to really be creative, and it's kind of interesting because I actually studied fashion. I studied business, not design. And here I am, the creator of Nudi. But
doing
that's
both.
Another story. Yeah, doing both. But I've worked for amazing, actually women along the way. I worked for a woman by the name of Diane Benson in my early years who owned Comme des Garçons at the time, and she was really such a forward-thinking woman in the 80s. She brought people like Alaya and Jean-Paul Gaultier and all these fabulous designers to the U.S. And so straight out of college, I worked for her and really learned to take risks and also to have vision. I also worked for Donna Karan, which is the last person. I helped her build her private company, Urban Zen, and I worked for Norma Kamali, which was amazing back in the 90s. So, I've also worked for myself along the way. So, yeah, I have a lot of experience on the business side in sales, branding, marketing, and all of that.
Why did you create Nudi? Because you've ended up being a designer and in the business, so I assume the business side was a breeze. But why Nudi? Why bras? Tell me more.
So, first of all, why Nudi? It was a complete desperation that came about because I was getting remarried.
Congratulations.
That was some years ago, thank you. And I needed something to wear under my wedding dress. It was super sheer. It was cut down to the waist on the side. It was cut down to the back. In the back of the dress, and out of desperation 2 weeks before, I said, I wonder if I can make something, because I couldn't use the stick-ons. That was the only thing that may have worked, because I got a three degree burn from stick-ons. They have formaldehyde, by the way, at least the one I had. So,
Jesus.
So I went to the store.
I didn't know about that.
Yes. No, I mean,
that was possible.
Seriously. Yeah, crazy. And so I went to the store and I found a fabric never used for top halves of the body, and I hand sewed the first Nudi. And I put it on my body, put my dress over it, and I said, wow, okay, this is really a different experience. It felt, I could sense that something was on. I didn't look like I was being reshaped. I looked like I was braless, and maybe like braless and 20-something. So I looked around the room and I said, I can't believe nobody's come out with this, because I know a lot about fashion. And so right after the wedding, I said, I wonder what else I can make that could help women find that first layer so that they could wear all these interesting fashions. So one of the fashions that was out and it was very popular were very low back, like silk tops, and that's something that I couldn't wear again. So the second Nudi that I made was a backless Nudi, which actually just launched on Kickstarter last year. That design took a while to get figured out in completion.
Complicated.
So it was complicated. This is a complicated design. It had never been done before. It took 4 years of trials to find out the right fit and ways to manufacture it that worked without hardware and et cetera, et cetera. So it's been a journey, but amazing.
Yeah, I mean, your designs are, they blow my mind. I'm so fascinated in the in-between between braless and bra.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, as anyone with boobs will know, bras aren't always the most loving things to have strapped to your body. Wires are uncomfortable, whether your boobs are small or massive. And sometimes you just want to go braless, but you want some coverage.
Little something.
Yeah, a little something. So I'm really intrigued in your philosophy of not like reshaping the breasts.
We call BS on bras. BS.
Yes. Yeah.
Just straight. And we never call Nudi a bra, just to let you know, because it's not. It really is something different. And we try to really make that clear in our website and in everything so that we can manage women's expectations, right? Because we're so used to bra language or anything on your boobs is a bra. So we're really creating a new space between bra and going braless. So it doesn't reshape you because guess what? Boobs are boob-shaped, and we like it that way. So it's really giving women a chance to reclaim their natural shape. Yeah. And if you look at the last 100 years in the bra industry, it basically made our bodies into trends. You know, it started out in the 20s where the first bra was flattening you, and then it went from flattening to 40s being bullets. Right, in the 40s and 50s, and then the Wonder Bra came in the 70s and said, you're not big enough, and they made us twice as large. You know, so it's been like a trend, our boobs. And so Nudi is not about that. It's just saying, you're lovely the way you are. We're going to give you this wonderful, yummy hug for your boobs. It's not that it does nothing, but it doesn't do what a bra does, which is like lift you. So it gives you like gentle movement. And so once women understand that and get it, they really are a Nudi lover forever.
I love that. Manage your expectations. Because look, how many times as someone with a larger chest, I've bought a bralette online that looks amazing on everyone and then does absolutely nothing that I thought it would do, and then you feel upset that you wasted money. This leads in, and I think this, you may have given me some insight into an answer to a question I really had, is why you call them systems. Each design is a system. I feel like that's probably because you don't want to call them bras, but...
Yeah, so interesting. That was our second name. It started out being called Nudi Thingy, the original name, because it was like, we didn't know what to call it. So like, what thingy do you have? Anyways, but System was the original name that I had come up with, which was Nudi System, that it was your secret support system. And I don't like to use the word support, but systems and structures are things that help us function better in our lives. And so I love that idea of, and it also has versatility to it, and it's highly technical, and I wanted to kind of sew that into the name by using the word system. When
I first discovered you as a brand, I thought, system.
Yeah.
It's unique, so it caught my attention, which is, great for marketing. Yeah. But I was really inquisitive as to why system, why the name. One thing that I'm really just in awe of is you come across so many small brands that do shapewear, bodywear, bras, and sizing is a really difficult thing within that aspect, that sect of the fashion industry. But your sizing system is truly remarkable, and not like anything I've come across elsewhere. Can you explain a bit more about your sizing system? Because I love it. It takes so much guesswork out and so much insecurity out of sizing yourself.
Boobs and bodies are really complicated, and even on most women's bodies, one boob is different size than the other one, right?
Yeah.
So it all goes back to the fabric. We created this fabric, and it did take a year just to get that fabric right. Yeah. That hugged each wearer's natural shape and each like individual boob, right? Having said that, your surround band, this is why bralettes don't really work, because they usually have just one size. Your surround band and your boobs are not equal. So just to have like a small, medium, large, extra large just doesn't work, right? So we have a 2-letter system, which means the first letter is for your band, the second is for your boobs. They come together to make a size. And then you couple that with the fabric, which can grow and shrink with you because it's very flexible. Then you have something that really works. There's no gaping because it's really hugging against your skin, like skin.
I've got a very small back, larger cup size.
Yes.
And I'll buy bralettes, and they're always either massive around the band, or I've got something in the correct size around the band, but then it's lifting up.
Yes.
And isn't flush to the skin, which, as I'm aware from my bra knowledge, it's meant to be. And they never quite fit. Tell me more about your fabric that you use, because all the videos I've seen, it looks so soft and comfortable and seamless, and like it wouldn't annoy you at all. But it took a year to create.
So it's not seamless. It actually has seams, and the seams are there so that it functions. If it didn't have seams, it would be a seamless product. It's not like a cut and sew seamless. And there's a gazillion things in seamless. Everybody's making seamless. That's not what it's about. It is a nylon spandex base, but it's a very special weave that we had to find because it has to have flexibility, it had to have recovery, had to have softness, all these things. So it took time to develop it, and there was a lot of trial and error there. But the seaming is part of our design. It is patented. We have a utility patent. We also have a design patent on the ways of wearing. In fact, all of our systems are patented. The seams are really there to give you that gentle hug, which is really from underneath, which is where you need it the most.
I have a question. I was going through your About page. Lovely words written about working with women and being a women brand. And then it says that the oldest person you've worked with is 94 years old. Is this a tester? Is this a seamstress? Who is 94 on the team?
Yeah, it's so funny. She wasn't really on the team, but she is a mother of a friend of mine, and when I was doing trials and testing, I asked, first of all, my friend's daughter had it on, who was in her 20s, then my friend who is in her 50s had it on, and then her mother, who's 93, put it on. I have a video of her, and I loved it. She put on Nudi, and she's in her skirt, and she goes, "Oh, I love the way it feels," and then she looks at herself in the mirror, and she kind of like strikes a pose, and she goes, "This is wonderful." And she said, "I had a little trouble getting it on, but I'll get used to it." It's just brilliant. But yeah, so she was the older person. But, it's interesting. We have a lot of older women that wear and love Nudi. There are some women that think, oh, it's just for younger women. Well, first of all, I created it for myself. I'm not in my 20s. Yeah. I think that every age group comes to Nudi in different ways from different philosophies. Like, the younger women are used to being braless sometimes, right? Mm-hmm. They're also grew up in an age where comfort was key, right? Mm-hmm. And then the women in her 30s and 40s are super busy. They need things that just work for them. So the versatility of it, the grab and go aspect is maybe why they come to Nudi. And then the older women are just like, we just want to be ourselves. Forget about all the old cultural things that are put upon us. If we want to go gray, we'll go gray. We want to just embrace ourselves. We want to embrace ourselves. So that's like a power position. It's just like, I'm just going to be myself.
I would also assume that it's popular among breastfeeding.
Yeah. So, I wish I had that. I was a major, Earth Mother breastfeeding for 4 years. But, yeah. Mm-hmm. And actually, we had a photo shoot with a woman who was pregnant back in October. And she said it's my favorite thing to wear for breastfeeding because it's just stretchy, right? So you just, you're able to stretch it and feed your baby. Also feel beautiful. And because it's not super compressive, it's really important that you have flow of milk so you don't have infections and things when you're breastfeeding. So it's really massively fabulous when you're breastfeeding, and also great when you have your period, just the opposite.
Yeah. Yeah. They get that bit bigger and sorer.
Yes.
You want some freedom. When I first saw about Nudi, and I would assume was really popular with breastfeeding, is the T system, which you say can be worn over 12 different ways. The versatility is... I mean, you're really buying 12 bras in one.
Or more. I mean, we've come up with more,
Why was versatility so important?
So, versatility was like an organic thing. So when the first Nudi was made, I actually made those 2 straps as a halter. And then we decided to come out, like, instead of the straps behind the neck, do the back band and come out with that first. And then as we were testing along the way, it was like, oh, I used to roll my bands, like my 2 bands into one. And realized, they stayed in place, so you could wear small things. But so it was an organic process as we were developing it over those 4 years of like how many different ways of wearing. And then we came out with an accessory kit, which has like little silicone toggles and a back clip. And so it's like many more ways of wearing. And so what's great about TikTok is that we're able to show in real time all those amazing things and the why. Like, I love fashion. So there was one post that was actually posted this weekend of this fabulous kind of halter top I have. It's cut like this, but then it squares off. And I wear my halter, and I just put a back clip in the center, and it works. Nothing else would have worked for this top except for Nudi. So people really get to understand and get educated about the why. Why would you wear it those ways? You could wear it to be seen, but you can also wear it under clothing where you could not find something else as your first layer.
I think that's really one of the main beauties of the brand is obviously it gives you freedom and some power over, your boobs. But also, most people don't care about their lingerie or their shapewear or their bras. They just want to throw something on and then think about their outer clothes and the dress that they might wear. And taking some of the guesswork out of that is, takes so much off so many people's minds, I'm sure. Tell me, what have you got planned? Have you got any more releases coming up? Any future systems that you'd love to design? You've got 6, they're all amazing.
Yes.
Anything else that you'd like to solve? Any more problems?
So we went into buttwear, because just popular demand. I mean, we listen to our customers. I love the fact we have a small team and we're very transparent and we're really there. We listen to you. I read comments. My team doesn't like when I actually answer comments, but I do answer comments sometimes. But we're really on, we're hands-on. And so we came out with buttwear. We're coming out with another buttwear product next month. We have so much development happening. Every month this year, we have something completely new. We're also, but so different. Like, again, we're coming into some bodywear products, maybe some ready-to-wear products. I can't tell you too much, but there's a lot. There's a lot.
So a lot is coming. I'm so excited to see everything that comes out. The bras speak. Well, they're not bras. The systems.
Boobwear. Or you can call it Boobwear. Boobwear is our name.
Boobwear.
Yeah,
speaks
Boobwear
for itself.
Yeah.
That's a hard one that I'm going to have to train out of myself.
Yes,
but
we're training everyone. Boobwear. We make boobwear, not bras.
Boobwear, not bras.
Yeah.
That's a great tagline. Boobwear, not bras.
Yep.
It's amazing. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much, Annette, for joining me on the podcast, and thank you so much, you, for listening to the Beyond the Seams podcast. I do hope you've enjoyed it. If you would like to keep up to date with more from the podcast and more from Eternal Goddess, make sure you're following us on social media.